Did you know that the one deadly error that secretly destroys most men's prospects of a woman's complete surrender is their obsession with money and muscles? Imagine this. She goes away cold, unaffected on the deepest level, while you're ripped, successful, and attracting attention everywhere. Isn't that shocking? This uncomfortable fact, however, is going to challenge everything you believe to be true. Most men claim that having a killer figure, toned abs, or infallible bedroom skills is all that is necessary to win a lady over. It will hurt, but allow me to hit you with something honest and unvarnished. Just that body? If you are unable to spark what genuinely releases her surrender, you are worthless. Furthermore, I'm not referring to skin, curves, or some shady seduction technique. I'm focusing on her intellect because it's explosive. Guys tend to focus on the surface and neglect the center, which is where they crash and burn. They tell themselves that because you're attractive in the mirror, flash money, or employ some online trickery, she'll melt. Yes, she might like the scenery, get a kick out of your appearance, or even have a good time for a night. However, actual surrender? Never. The contentious bomb that no one ever drops. The emotional hold you have on a woman's mind is what captures her surrender. Not her biceps, bank account, or performance. Do you want her to break down? Skip is pursuing her body. Investigate her thoughts. Insecure guys avoid this since it's simpler to blame a soft belly, height, or appearance. All excuses, please. The actual key? Reaching the depths of her mind. If you get that right, everything changes. When you're not around, she becomes obsessed with you. She wonders why she can't stop thinking about you. Importantly, she gives in because you do more than simply touch her. You understand her, test her, and arouse her feelings. This isn't cheap games or manipulation. She can let go because she is self-assured, exudes confidence, and has natural leadership. As harsh as it may sound, women want to submit to someone who is emotionally stronger than they do to be emotionally dominant. Give up the myth that physical appearance is important. Don't be the doormat good guy who gives everything away. What matters? Your ability to create a strong emotional impact. The key is to control her mind, which guides every decision, emotion, and surrender, rather than just touching her body. If you're ready to level up after this truth hit you in the gut, type yes in the comments section. Let's now explore the 7 habits that change the course of events. Once you master these, you'll see women give up like never before. Each one is powerful, supported by data, anecdotes, and science that will cause you to reconsider everything. Habit 1. The mind rules, but the body attracts. Brave assertion. Your mental toughness traps her in obsession by slamming doors behind her, even though your six-pack opens them. Unsettling statistic. According to a Harvard study, people who are very attractive have shorter marriages and divorce rates that are up to 20% higher because appearances don't last long without emotional depth. Isn't that shocking? According to psychological study, physical attraction captures 70% of initial interest, while 80% of long-term ties break down without a mental link. Captivating narrative. Introducing Alex, a 32-year-old Chicago gym-goer. He turned eyeballs at every bar by bench pressing 300 pounds and sculpting his body like a Greek god. However, dates? After week 2, it fizzled. At first, women were drawn to him because of his abs, but they quickly left when the conversation remained superficial. Mike, who is 35 years old, has an average build and no model appearance. He enthralled Lisa, a beautiful marketing executive, by challenging her beliefs, sharing her vulnerabilities, and probing her dreams. She's hooked after 6 months and can't quit thinking about him. Why? Mike took control of her thoughts, transforming infatuation into addiction. Your physique? Similar to an eye-catching billboard, it doesn't close the deal. Your thoughts? She was drawn in irrevocably by a magnetic force field. Tomorrow's action plan. Give up going to the gym. Read a chapter from Daniel Goleman's Emotional Intelligence instead. Engage in a meaningful conversation with a friend to practice. Focus on their anxieties rather than the weather. Now is the time to strengthen your cerebral muscles. Habit 2. The reason why the physical is never sufficient. Bold assertion. Women seek the emotional fire that outlasts any six-pack. Therefore, chasing a perfect body will only make you replaceable. Unsettling statistic. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, studies reveal that emotional ties keep 85% of happy couples together for the long term, but physical attractiveness fades in 60% of relationships after just 2 years. Even worse, 70% of women say that if emotional sparks fade, they lose interest in physically attractive partners, and in half of those cases, they end up breaking up. Captivating narrative. Consider 29-year-old Los Angeles fitness trainer Sarah. Brad, a 6'2" model with ripped arms and a fancy automobile, was the man she dated. At first, there were a lot of sparks, hot nights, buddy jealousy. However, Brad never delved into her world and was preoccupied with his diet and gym selfies. After 3 months, she abruptly went silent due to boredom. In contrast, Tom, 34, with his dad bod and all, became close to Emily through late-night discussions about their goals and anxieties. After 2 years, she is committed. His depth of feeling transformed her blood into molten lava rather than the syrupy sludge of shallow conversations. Physical? The sparkler fizzled out quickly. Emotional? A roaring bonfire that would forever warm her soul. Tomorrow's action plan. Did you talk about yourself 80% of the time on your most recent date or chat? Turn it over. Pay twice as much attention as you do. What's the dream that scares you most? Is an example of a question that should be asked. See how she brightens. Habit 3. The real weakness of women. Bold assertion. Her true weakness lies not in her appearance, but in the mental fortification you destroy with emotional control, leaving a lasting impression. Fascinating fact. Harvard psychology research indicates that 75% of relationships end within 5 years if there are no strong emotional attachments. This is because mental bonds, which promote longevity and well-being, are superior to surface-level attractions. According to APA surveys, a startling 65% of women acknowledge that emotional detachment causes them to cheat or leave. Captivating narrative. Here comes Maria, a 67-year-old Boston-based retired teacher who is thinking back on her 40-year marriage to Frank. There was nothing hunky about young Frank. No sharp jaw, no wallet prowess. However, he penetrated her mind by questioning her beliefs, comprehending her silences, and fusing excitement and safety. She completely gave up, creating an impenetrable life. Her 72-year-old friend Sylvia now laments pursuing physical thrills. She was divorced twice, by herself, because those hotties never made her feel anything. The weak spot? Like rusty hinges oiled by your steady hand, that invisible chamber where struggle meets faith swings open with ease. Tomorrow's action plan. Mix firmness and warmth in your next conversation. Playfully dispute on a minor issue, then affirm her strength. Observe how she tests your emotional fortitude by leaning in. Habit 4. How to influence her thoughts without coercing them. Brave assertion. Forget tricks. Real mental control transforms you into the man she can't forget, without the need for games. Unsettling statistic. According to studies from the Mayo Clinic, genuine emotional intelligence increases pleasure in 80% of pairings, while deceptive strategies destroy trust in 90% of cases and increase breakup rates by 50%. It's shocking. According to psychological research, 55% of men who use pickup lines fail in the long run. Captivating narrative. The 65-year-old Walter, a former New York salesman, wasted years on prefabricated charm. Forum quotes, fake indifference. Women were able to see through it and called him desperate. Then he changed, talked from the heart, and developed self-respect. When he met Diane at 50, his unvarnished honesty, sharing his imperfections and establishing limits, broke her heart. Solid presence, no manipulation. She claims his thoughts unlocked her, demonstrating her devotion. Your genuineness lubricates the mechanism, eliminating the need for a crowbar, much like a key that fits a lock naturally rather than being forced. Tomorrow's action plan. Give up one impress habit, such as boasting. Instead, engage in conversation with a sincere vulnerability. Take pride in it and see how her mind works. Habit 5. When she believes your emotional strength, she surrenders. Bold claim. Her complete yield only ignites when your inner fortress remains unshakable, demonstrating that you are the rock she seeks. Unsettling statistic. According to Harvard's oldest happiness study, relationships with emotional stability are 93% stronger than those with weakness, which destroys 70% of partnerships through mistrust and fear. Brutal. According to relationship psychology studies, 60% of women leave emotionally unstable males within a year. Captivating narrative. Chris, a 38-year-old Seattle engineer, broke down due to envy, with mood swings and texts blasting. Overburdened, his ex-partners ran. Ryan, 40 and as solid as granite, comes in. He was never needy and handled testing with composure. Jenna, his companion, felt comfortable being vulnerable and gave up completely. What's your strength? Holding steady, allowing her waves to crash without moving, like an anchor in her mental storm. Tomorrow's action plan is to confront a trigger, such as a no, without retaliating. Take a breath and react coolly. Every day, strengthen that unwavering core. Habit 6. Don't be the kind person who provides everything. Bold assertion. Giving too much shows weakness. Deprive her of constant affirmation to make her want to quit up. According to Blue Zone's research on sustainable partnerships that emphasize mutual respect over appeasement, women desire balanced strength rather than doormats, and studies suggest that nice guy habits are associated with 40% greater rejection rates. It's shocking to learn that 75% of over-accommodating men get dumped or friend-zoned. Captivating narrative. Every date was accompanied by presents and affirmations from Ben, a 45-year-old Dallas manager who bent backwards and texted constantly. After using him, women disappeared. Turn to 42-year-old Steve, who gave sparingly and said no when necessary. Carla, his wife, fully yields and respects his boundaries. Over-niceness stifles attraction. Like syrup clogging engines. Balanced power boosts it. Tomorrow's action plan is to refuse one minor request without expressing regret. Feel her admiration grow as you stand tall. Habit 7. Create your own universe and be whole without her. Brave assertion. Her submission is attracted to self-sufficiency. She joins your empire rather than fills your gaps. Unsettling fact. According to data from the National Institute on Aging, men who are unfulfilled have a 50% higher chance of divorcing, whereas self-fulfilled men have an 85% chance of enduring relationships through emotional independence. 65% of dependent relationships cause female withdrawal, which is shocking. Captivating narrative. Greg, a 55-year-old Miami widower, was frantic and clinging after his loss, seeking affirmation. The dates dried up. Rebuilt alone. Interests. Goals. When he met Nina, his completeness drew her in with complete submission. Your world? She arrives as queen, not rescuer, in a flourishing country. Her independence releases her trust like rusty chains. Tomorrow's action plan. Journal your goals and hike alone, or pursue one lonely hobby. Exude wholeness. Naturally attract her. You've deciphered a code that most men overlook if you've taken this in. The key to her capitulation? Your presence, your intellect, your emotional stronghold, not your body. That is what distinguishes the legendary from the forgotten. In the comments section, share your greatest aha moment. Did giving too much hurt you? Tell me about yourself and I'll respond to as many as I can. It's time for you to wake up. If this inspired you, hit like, subscribe for more unvarnished truths, leave a comment below, and forward this to a brother in need. Change today, and your future self will appreciate it.